The name's Don, our Don, and this is my trusty side chick, Rosie, and we'll be investigating all sorts of crime. Now, what's first on the agenda? We have touched on this one before, boats being used for rug hauls, so grab that drink, it could be water. If you are driving, buckle up, but use hands-free audio only. And welcome to Our Dance Reviews and True Crime. Rugs operation via a boat, a rib in fact. So this haul of rugs was worth 26.2 million street value. It was cocaine. So let's take a look at this one closely. It's nothing new. Rugs are brought in by boat on many occasions, as well as other modes of transport, but boat is it's hard to detect, isn't it? So the group was actually sentenced this time. They were caught. And there was a sea drop-off of 322 kilos of cocaine, as I said, worth 26.5 million street value. 3 men were said to be selling this boat. It's called a rib, okay, a rigid hold inflatable boat. So they were collecting this cocaine haul from a ship off the coast of Somerset. So the haul was collected by 2 British guys from Lancashire, Preston, actually. So what do we think? I want your honest opinion. It was a Class A drug. They were collecting. Are you thinking, well, good luck to them. They didn't get away with it, but they could have done. And they would have earned, apparently, a fair number of million from this haul. But what do we think? Is it worth it? It wasn't worth it this time. But how many times do people actually get away with it? So these are the unlikely suspects. The 2 foreign men and 2 UK guys. UK guys from Lancashire. So do we feel sorry for them, perhaps? Do we think, I wish they got away with it? I suppose, again, you're thinking of the end user, aren't you, really? So this was actually investigated by the National Crime Agency. I don't know. It doesn't actually say how they were tipped off. I presume they were tipped off. So we have Craig Nuttall, 51, and his brother Raymond Nuttall, 47, from Preston, arrived at Watchet Marina in Somerset on the 23rd of July, 2025. They're quite old guys. It's not all young guys, is it? Old, I mean, they're younger than me, but yeah, what do we think? What do you think? Do you think it's, do you have in your mind that this is always mostly being committed by younger guys, do you think, or what? Because these certainly weren't. In my experience, there were guys in their 50s that looked pretty respectable, pretty normal. They didn't look like whatever you picture as a picture book stereotypical dealer. So the rib was named Guzzler, and told the marina manager they had planned to be in the area for a few days to fish. On the evening of the 30th of July, they were joined by Greek national Netis Tespa, 24, from Thessalonica. Did I pronounce that right? I know that's in Greece. And 38-year-old Albanian national Melias Delvina. So we've got the 2 guys here, the brothers there, and we've got the 2 foreign nationals. So Raymond Nuttall was seen to drive a van down to the quayside before removing 2 large jerry cans and a hose from the rear at 8:46 p.m. Craig Nuttall, Tespa and Delvina were in the rib wearing life jackets and heading out to sea. Audio messages later discovered on Tespa's device showed that they had took the boat out to sea and were organising a sea drop-off where a large vessel, otherwise known as a mothership, is believed to have dropped illegal rugs into the sea. That was to be collected by the smaller boat. It's something that's quite simple, really, isn't it? It's quite simple to do. In theory, just grab them. Now, how many times have they got away with this? Was this the first time? Who knows? The moral of the story is, on this one, the Nuttalls pleaded guilty to an importation of cocaine at Taunton Crown Court on the 29th of August. Tespa and Delvina admitted to the same charges on the 5th of September. Tespa also pleaded guilty to possession of a firearm and ammunition. Were they expecting trouble? Yeah, firearm, that also carries a sentence as well, doesn't it? Raymond Nuttall, Craig Nuttall were sentenced to 11 years and 3 months and 11 years and 2 months, respectively, whilst Anitas Tespa was given a 16-year jail term sentence. I presume for the firearm offence added on to that. Melius Delvina is due to be sentenced on the 11th of December. The NCA Regional Head of Investigations, Gavin Webb, said these men were working as part of an organised crime group, using the cover of darkness to collect a significant amount of cocaine that would have ended up on the streets of the UK, and it may have ended up into some unfortunate end users. So they were fueled by greed. What do we think? What do we think? Is it worth it? Okay, you can get away with it, but you never know when somebody's going to be watching, somebody's going to squeal, and you're going to get caught, and you're going to get a large sentence. How much of that are they going to serve? I don't know. Maybe time off for good behaviour, but is it really worth it? That's quite a long time. That's quite a period out of your life. And you lose your freedom, don't you? It may be some form of community centre, and you may be safe, but then again, you do lose that freedom. I wonder what the firearm was for. What were they expecting? A double cross, maybe? They had to go to the waters and pick up the rug, but I suppose you never know if they were double crossed. Maybe you need that as a deterrent, perhaps. A firearm as a deterrent, not to use it. But it still will. If you're in that circumstance, it will carry some sort of sentence. So this one happened when they came back to shore. So they picked up the stash and the guzzler was searched, and it was found to contain a large number of bale-sized packages that had been stored along the floor between the seats, and there were 14 packages in total containing a further 322 smaller packages, each weighing a kilo each. So they're kind of ready-made for the custom and hopefully waterproof. I guess they might have been, it doesn't really say, maybe they were putting a little inflatable or something rather than going into the water or something underneath. They're probably above water, I would have thought. The substances inside were found to be cocaine with an 89% purity. That's pretty pure, isn't it? With the firearm discovered in the boat. I wonder if they had an argument of admitting whose gun it was. Maybe not. Maybe they're all honest with each other. They didn't want any more hassle. The Nuttalls and Tespa provided no comment responses to NCA officers in interview. Probably their brief told them to say that. It was pretty cut and dry, I guess. Delvina, he's not been sentenced as such yet. So he's given a cover story. Is it a cover story or is it real? So he gave a prepared statement in which he said he was unemployed and took the work to unload items from a boat into a van with no knowledge of rugs being inside. So was he forced, or was he just ignorant and thought, well, they've got a haul of something, I don't know, they're just picking up something and they just need a bit of muscle to load it into the van? Well, we'll wait and see on that one, see what happens. So what do we think? This is just one time the bad guys were nabbed. This is happening all around the world on boats. If you haven't got informants telling you about it, you kind of would never know, really, would you? You can't man every little nook and cranny around every country, can you? Every island, every Mediterranean island. So it does happen. You could even use swimmers, couldn't you? Swimmers. They could pay me, couldn't they? I could swim out quite a long way to sea, collect the stash in my little float that I use, put it in there, and come on back. I could use a bigger float. I could use a few floats, couldn't I? Something simple, isn't it? Something simple. Just collect. You don't even have to go near the vessel, do you? Just collect from the sea in a little blow up, an orange blow up thing. Perhaps they're ready-made blow ups, and you just go and you swim out and you connect them to your back. The buoyancy as well, and then swim back with them. 26.5 million. So even if you make $500,000 from that, profit-wise, kind of almost enough to retire, isn't it? This is why the older guys are thinking, I want to retire. I'm fed up with this working life. I want to retire early. I'll give it a go. I'll roll the dice. Okay, if I get 11 years, I might be out in half that, 6.5 years. I'll be kept as such. I have to work out my psychology because it would play with your mind. Depends whether you've already been in or not. If it's the first time you're going in, it's going to be scary, isn't it? It's going to be scary. You're going to have your wits about you. You're going to have to dehumanize yourself from from the crime and being bad, and you're going to have to think to yourself, well, I'm paying for it. I'm paying society for it. You're not paying society as such. You're taking money from your food, bed, board, your education in there, your gym in there, whatever you get. Because you're probably not. Are you really? I mean, first offence. Are you really going to be put in a Cat A prison, or are you going to be put in a lower, nicer type, a community type prison? As I say, I wouldn't have thought an open prison. Maybe for a lesser class of rug, maybe in an open prison, and then you can kind of maybe just go home for the day and then go back at night time. It's not the same thing, but remember Georgie Best? He was in an open prison. I think Jeffrey Archer, the politician, who was done for tax evasion, I think he was in an open prison as well. He had a whole kind of room. It was kind of like a 2-3 star hotel room with a library full of books and things like that. Do we think it's a rehabilitation for them or a punishment? Two different things, aren't they, really? We're kind of very good as such, I think, aren't we, overall? Aren't we, the prisoners? We're giving them opportunities not to do it again. But will they? I don't think. The two elder ones, perhaps, I don't think they're probably going to do this again, do you? But how many times have they got away with small stashes? If you make a few thousand, maybe you roll the dice and you think, I want to make more this time. Let's make 50,000. Oh, let's make 100,000. I'll tell you what, we want to retire already. We've had enough of this. We want 1 million. That'll do us. 2 million, even better, depending what they get for it. As the end user, as I say, they can be suffering. But then again, there are a lot of recreation users of cocaine, even in the services. If you're in the infantry, the paras, the marines, if you're in a conflict, hand-to-hand, and there aren't many hand-to-hand conflicts around at the moment for British troops, but if there are, wouldn't you become a user, an abuser, just to give you that Dutch courage, those bullets whistling past your ear roll? Not very nice. Maybe they're giving out prescription type rugs for services, even the police force. Maybe I wouldn't have thought the police force, you know. But if you're prescribed a certain rug, are you going to dose yourself up in that certain rug, depending what it is, when you're going into battle, or you're bouncing through that door and you're on a raid? Maybe it's more of a dangerous raid, not a Class C user that you're raiding. Maybe a head honcho. All rug dealers, sometimes they're just, they're not gangsterish types. They're just dealing. You wouldn't know that they were dealers, really. Just general everyday people. Oh, how many are these offences connected to other offences as well? And how many connections of criminal behaviour within the rug field are connected to perhaps unaliving as part of the game? The Greek national, in this case, he was carrying a firearm. So things do cross over, don't they? So that's what I'm saying. Within other cases, there is something to investigate. Maybe the police will have a big crackdown all around the world, and you start hearing more and more about the boats getting seized, etc. And it runs along, doesn't it? Is it worth investigating? Should they carry on bit by bit? You're not going to catch everyone. But as they go along, they're just doing their job. Should they do their job? And they run along and they find out a particular crime has happened like this one, and they're seeing if there's anything else that crosses over or is connected to perhaps an accident. Alongside that might have been an accident. Somebody might have been unalived accidentally, and they need to see whether it crosses over. Well, they don't need to, but it would be common sense to have a look at the whole caboodle. It's the same with the Birmingham Rug Hall. A smaller hall, but it said it might be connected to other things. There are a lot of names there, weren't there, in that hall, in the Birmingham Airport Hall, and that was a Class C drug. But it does lead on to certain establishments. Do they need to look into the whole caboodle? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just look, well, you did this, that's it. They don't look at any connections at all with these people. Anything that's happened around that area, they don't connect the two. They don't investigate the two connections. They just investigate the one. But it's a start, isn't it? Anyway, just rather than turning a blind eye to it, as we've heard many times, on this island, and certainly other islands, let's just turn the blind eye. It goes on. Just let them carry on. But one day, there might be a whole influx of more and more and more crimes being investigated, dealing being one of them, whether it's rugs or something else that's a bit dodgy. There could be. And it wouldn't be Murphy's Law that you're involved at that time. And you're thinking, oh, why me? It's always me. I only want to have one go, one big hit. Why 2 million and then I'll pull out? Some people, even with 2 million, it's tax-free, isn't it? Even with 2 million, they can't sort of think, well, I can rest on that. I don't have to work again. They kind of see it as a buzz, this dealing, and they think, well, I'll just carry on because it's a buzz. I've got nothing else. Well, find something else. Find something else before you're thinking about crime. Try and find something else or put up with what you've got already. If you've got your health, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Try and look at positives and then try and work out where you are, where you're going to be. And it's good because if there is that influence from the police to catch you, maybe that's a deterrent. It's going to stop you committing that crime in the first place. That's enough of the moralistic view of our Don for today. So what lessons can be learned from this? You can take a chance if you want to, risk all that time in prison, or you can give it a go and perhaps your morals might stop you. You know, those things, morals. Some of us have got them. Which ones? But anyway, don't let it bother you too much. And when you do, lay your head down tonight. Please don't have any nasty dreams. Goodbye from me, Aldon, and goodbye from Rosie, who's down there eating a chew. Thank you, guys. Please like and subscribe as always.